Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. Guardians? Today is finally the day we go shopping. After breaking down all 3 events from week 2 of the Balance of Power season, it's finally time to do the maths and see how many Sigil coins you can realistically earn. Once again, we're going to be very conservative with our calculations. We'll exclude several tasks from each event because we know every player progresses differently, and we want these numbers to be achievable for the majority of Guardians, not just the players who complete absolutely everything. But before we begin, there's one important piece of information. The CMs have confirmed that 3 more events following the same structure are coming in future weeks, meaning you'll eventually be able to collect enough Relic Shards to unlock any hero available inside the Sanctum of Balance Shop. However, this does not mean your Sigil coins will carry over. At the end of this event, your current Sigil coins will disappear, so make sure you spend everything before the event ends. If you're planning to collect Relic Shards but can't afford every hero right now, don't panic. Focus on the hero you truly want because, with 3 more events confirmed, you'll eventually be able to reach the 50 Relic Shards required to unlock them. With that said, let's begin with Defiant Edge. Starting with day after day, every player should complete this task, so we'll count the full reward of 3,500 Sigil coins. Next comes Generous Soul. Since this task requires spending money, we won't include it in our calculations. We never know who's going to spend or how much they'll spend, so we'll simply leave it out. Then we have Energy of Evolution. Here we're going to assume every Guardian spends around 950 energy per day, which over 7 days gives a total of 6,650 Sigil coins. We believe that's a fair and realistic number for the majority of active players. Next comes on a Titanic scale. We spent quite a while discussing whether this task should be included because some players can complete it by using the merchant shop, while others can simply continue progressing their titans through dungeon runs. It requires effort, but it's definitely achievable if you're actively playing, so we'll count it. Completing it every day gives 24,150 Sigil coins throughout the event. Then we reach Price of Power, and unfortunately we're not going to include it. Many Guardians simply can't complete this task, especially players with fully upgraded hero skins, so rather than inflating our numbers we'll leave it out completely. If you can complete it, fantastic. You'll simply earn even more Sigil coins than our calculations show. The next task is Summoning Titans. Here we're only going to count 1 single day. We know many players prefer saving Titan spheres for better opportunities, while others simply don't want to spend 125 Titan spheres every day. That's perfectly understandable, so we'll only count 1 completion, giving us 4,800 Sigil coins. Moving on to Successful Fighter, we're once again keeping the numbers conservative. We'll only count the 5 free arena battles every day. That gives 600 Sigil coins per day, or 4,200 Sigil coins over the entire week. Finally we reach Payback Time. We believe most Guardians will make the effort to defeat the rally bosses every day, so we'll include the entire task. Completing it throughout the week rewards 39,200 Sigil coins. Adding everything together, our conservative calculation gives 82,500 Sigil coins from Defiant Edge alone. Now let's move on to Unbroken Bond. Once again, day after day is an easy 3,500 Sigil coins, so we'll include it. Generous Soul is another spending task, so we'll leave it out. Value exchange also won't be included because spending emeralds depends entirely on your own strategy and account progression. Then comes Titanic contribution, and we believe most active players will complete this objective, giving us 8,200 Sigil coins. Rune Might is another task we'll exclude. We don't know how many rune stones each player has available, so instead of guessing, we'll leave it as a bonus. If you complete it, you'll simply earn more than our calculations. Next comes Awakening. Instead of assuming players spend all 875 elemental spheres, we're only going to count 150 elemental spheres, giving us 2,600 Sigil Coins. For the way up, we'll assume 11 tower attempts per day. If you do more, even better, but we're keeping everything on the lower end. That results in 77 total tower clears, rewarding 4,600 Sigil Coins. Finally, we reach Ultimate Champion. Here we're only counting the free attempts. 5 Grand Arena attempts per day means roughly 10 battles daily, or 70 battles throughout the week, rewarding 1,800 Sigil Coins. That brings Unbroken Bond to a conservative total of 20,700 Sigil Coins. And remember, these numbers are intentionally low. Most players will probably finish with more. Finally, let's look at Gear and Glory. Honestly, I think this is the best designed event of the 3. If your Tristan is already fully upgraded, you simply log in and collect a huge amount of rewards. If you're still developing him, the event actually rewards you for improving your account. It's one of those rare situations where both newer players and veterans benefit, just in different ways. Let's count it conservatively. Soaring Might is very straightforward. Level Tristan to 120 and collect 3,000 Sigil Coins. For Leading Warrior, we're only counting progression up to rank 8, giving us 4,150 Sigil Coins. Awakened Glyphs won't be included. Many Guardians have different priorities or simply don't want to invest heavily into one hero, so we'll leave it out entirely. Gift of the Elements is another task we believe most players should complete, giving 1,700 Sigil Coins. As for the remaining artifact tasks, we're not going to count them either. Newer players are still building their accounts, artifact progression takes a very long time, and we really want these calculations to remain as realistic as possible for everyone. That leaves us with a conservative total of 8,850 Sigil Coins, from Gear and Glory. Now let's put everything together. Defiant Edge, 82,500 Sigil Coins. Unbroken Bond, 20,700 Sigil Coins. Gear and Glory, 8,850 Sigil Coins. Giving us a grand total of 122,050 Sigil Coins. And Guardians. I really want to emphasize this. These are minimum calculations. There are many additional tasks we deliberately ignored. Many of you will finish this week with considerably more than 122,000 Sigil Coins. Now, let's finally go shopping. Inside the Sanctum of Balance Shop, you'll find Miu, Kendall, equipment, mixed artifact chests, and plenty of useful resources. But let's be honest. The real stars of the shop are the Relic Shards. With our minimum calculation of 122,050 Sigil Coins, you already have enough to purchase 20 Relic Shards for any hero you choose, since they cost 93,000 Sigil Coins. And that's incredibly important. Even if you don't own that hero today, you can already start collecting their Relic Shards. Once you eventually unlock the hero, generic Relic Shards can help you continue upgrading those relics. And remember what we said at the beginning of the video. This is only the first step. With 3 more events following the same structure already confirmed, you'll eventually reach 60 Relic Shards, which is more than enough to unlock your chosen hero's relics. So choose carefully. If it were my account, I'd personally go for Lian first, followed by Alvanna. But that's only my opinion. Every Guardian has different heroes, different priorities, and a completely different way of playing the game. So when you enter the Sanctum of Balance Shop, don't shop for what looks shiny. Shop for what will make your account stronger. Until next time. Stay tuned. Stay sharp. Salute and friendship.